the first fight on the main card is going to be Kevin Holland versus Alessio Di Chirico. And Kevin Holland, man, is an interesting cat. He's first off, he's got really long limbs, so he's got long range, and he's good at striking, right? He's rangy on the feet. He maintains distance well. He's good with his timing, good with counters, good with going first. And his jiu-jitsu game is really fucking good too. He's a brown belt, and he's got those long limbs, man, that lets him do things that a lot of people aren't able to do. And you saw him in the fight against Thiago Santos, and he was able to control Thiago's posture at times and put him in danger, almost armbar him, and hang around with Thiago, who is going to be fighting John Jones for the 205 belt. They fought at 185. So how much of that is Thiago depleting himself, blah, 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 I don't know. But the point is Kevin Holland is talented, and he shit talks a lot. He's fun to watch. He's going to be running his mouth during the whole fight, I'm sure. But he's fighting a guy in Alessio Di Chirico who's tough as fuck, man, coming off a win over Julian Marquez. And here's the thing, though. I just think that, like, when you watch Kevin Holland, there's a feeling that there's, like, a potential special, like, he's a special talent. And I just think that with his range and his weapons and the way that he's going to be able to maintain distance, and even if the guy does take him down, he's gonna be tough. He's tough off his back. He does a lot of things well. He's offensive. He can throw up triangles. He can throw up arm bars. He's tricky. He's not going to be somebody that you. And I say this all the time. If you're looking for somebody with like a championship mentality when they're fighting, watch how guys respond when they're put in tough situations. A lot of guys will sit there and take breaks and rest and try to recover, like when they're in half guard or on the bottom of side control. Kevin Holland does not do that shit. Kevin Holland is always moving and looking to advance position or get to a better position if he's in danger. You need to do that because the other person, if you want to get to a world-class level in fighting, the other person is going to be putting it on you constantly. And if you can't respond by actively and, using crisp technique late into rounds when you're tired and stuff, it's going to be a long fucking path to get to the title. But I look for stuff like that, things that, what's going on up here, right, when they're fighting. And I like the way Kevin Holland responds to pressure, and that's one of the main reasons I'm picking. Put technique aside, I like how he responds to things. I like how he's active. I like how he's always moving. I like how he's looking for finishes and, from his back in situations where it's tough to get finishes from. Like those are things that you like to see. People who can keep the other guy guessing and, making them work as they're trying to work on you. It's tough, man, but having offensive jiu-jitsu off your back is I think it's so important, and I think it's so underrated because if you get taken down by a wrestler and you don't even have the skills to get back up, man, you're going to be in for a long fucking night. A long night. Because it's hard to submit wrestlers. They got good top pressure, and it's not like at this level they're not training jiu-jitsu. So you take this guy who just learned to smash people his whole life from the age of 8 or 9. He was wrestling, right? Just over and over and over again. His top pressure is crazy. But so if you don't have a way to deal with that and you get taken down by a wrestler with a good top game, good fucking luck. It's kind of what makes a Tony Ferguson versus Khabib fight so interesting if it ever happens, right? Like, don't get me wrong. Dustin Poirier is a black belt. And I think that fight we're getting sidetracked here, but that fight with Dustin Poirier, people are not giving Dustin Poirier enough credit. One of the things that you have to do with people who like to apply Khabib's entire game plan stems from pressure and getting takedowns off you, right? Like he's trying to push you and set things up and get the takedown. He just wants to grab you and grapple you. But Dustin Poirier is a black belt, and all you have to do against Khabib is get back to your motherfucking feet. And Dustin Poirier has really good footwork. He's always in position. And if you look at like the fight against Max Holloway, I don't care what weight class it was at, man. Max Holloway is no fucking joke. And the way that you make people back off of you and stop applying pressure is to make them pay for applying it in the first place. You have to swing. You have to throw. And Dustin Poirier throws fucking volume, and he doesn't rely on kicks. He relies on a boxing-heavy technique, man. It's going to be interesting. I'm telling you, like if Khabib is pushing forward and getting hit in the face, it will impact his ability to take him down. And you look at Conor, and I thought Conor was going to just like kind of slice through him, right? Khabib, because Conor's so precise and he's kind of a counter striker, but you realize that when those things aren't working and you got a sniper like Conor, right? I mean, that if that one shot misses, it could have drastic consequences. Whereas like Dustin Poirier kind of reminds me of like the infantry a little bit more, right? Like he's firing a machine gun. Whereas Conor's looking for that one shot at the guy, and if he misses, he's fucked. Dustin's kind of like in the trenches, right? Throwing volume, throwing tons of punches, trying to make things happen. I think he's got a better shot than people give him credit for. His boxing and his footwork have come a long fucking way. That boy knows how to fight and throw his hands. So it's going to be interesting, man. And he's a black belt, so he can get up. Anyway, to get back to the main card, I'm taking Kevin Holland over Alessio Di Chirico. I think he'll finish him. I just don't know how.